أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I will, as chairman, the panelists, distinguished new colleagues from all walks of life, from different departments of this university and other universities, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Honestly, when I was invited for this, I kind of say that, well, what are we going to say new about Bello Sardaunan? Because so many things have been said, about him. So we are only trying maybe to reflect, to re-echo some of the things that have been said, probably so that we can learn something, from it. So that's why maybe I will start by asking one or two questions. The first question that I will ask is that, how can the legacies of Sir Ahmed Bello be used to address some of the challenges facing northern Nigeria? Because there is no doubt now, there is no one single northern Nigeria. We have middle belt, we have far north, we have core north, and so many factions that are artificially created in the mind of people. And that explains why there is no unity in northern Nigeria. You always hear stories of conflict between this tribal group and other tribal groups. I think one thing that we would say Sardaunan has done his best is try to unify the various tribal and ethnic groups in this country, or at least in northern Nigeria. Because Sardaunan believes that by unity in northern Nigeria, one, upper the north, will be able to catch up, for the rest of the country, So I think this is a big question that we all need to, answer, understand. And if you look at throughout northern Nigeria, everybody wants to be called Sardaunan, even the non-Muslims, they are trying to title themselves as Sardaunan. There's Sardaunan in Kano, Sardaunan in Katsina, Sardaunan in Bauchi, Sardaunan in Pangshen. Why? Of course, it's because of his legacies. But unfortunately, nobody is following, his footsteps. The second question is that why was Sardaunan, why was he exceptional? Because he was exceptional, that's why we are celebrating him today. And I say we will continue to celebrate him. I think what made Sardaunan exceptional in Nigerian history is the fact that unlike most of the people, or unlike his counterparts that struggle for Nigerian politics and those that ruled the First Republic, Sardaunan did not engage himself in primitive accumulation. Because Sardaunan, when he died, he left only probably 3 houses. One in Rapa, I think that's where he was a district head. And upon the day, if you are a district head, maybe you will have some small house there. In fact, the house is nothing to come by. Then the other house is in Gidadawa in Sokoto. I think that is a family house. Gidadawa is behind the Sultan's palace. Then the other house is in Ofa Mariki. I think that is his official residence, as Sardaunan of Sokoto. Because even if he's Sardaunan, at least he's supposed to have a residence in Sokoto. So that one, in fact, the house had to be rehabilitated. I think by Governor Bakarawa, and the other government, because the house, is dilapidated. So we are celebrating him, definitely because he did not engage himself with accumulation of wealth. He did not accumulate because he had no interest, had no interest in one day, no pleasure, And he lived modestly, and all through his life, he upheld strong commitment to whatever he was assigned to do. And of course, that situation explains why we are remembering him today, and will continue. But unfortunately, if we look at what is happening today in northern Nigeria, and we see that it is as if there is no hope for us, because the leaders are highly corrupt. There is no doubt about it. They are highly corrupt. They engage in accumulation of wealth. They accumulate wealth. In fact, we don't know even what they are doing, with the accumulation. Are they investing? Are they doing the, and so forth. Mr. Chairman, sir, even though there is no doubt that Sardaunan contributed in all areas of human endeavor, He contributed in education, he contributed in politics, he contributed in religion, in social welfare, etc., etc. But I think the enduring legacy that will not be forgotten is the issue of unity among the various tribal and ethnic groups, in Nigeria. And probably Sardauna, I think he was not manipulated, by colonial policies. He was born and brought up during the colonial era, but he was not manipulated by colonial policies of divide and rule. Because colonial government has tried by all means to see that they divide for northern Nigerian people, or even the entire Nigerian people. They created tribal groups, they created houses, they created Igbo, they created and so on and so forth. But Sardauna was not manipulated by it, probably because of the legacies of his ancestors. During the Sokoto Caliphate. Because during the Sokoto Caliphate, the Caliphate leaders try by whatever possible to see that there is unity, there is cooperation between different ethnic and tribal groups in Nigeria. And I think that is even the reason why. It is because of the unity that you see that in the central region of northern Nigeria, there are a lot of titles. I think there are titles, either Islamic titles or Muslim titles. That so other non-Muslims are adopted. Like Waziri, like Walima, like Madaki, and so on and so forth. I think it's because of the good interrelation that they had, for the colonial and for the emirate. So Muhammad Bello, Sardauna, he strongly believes that what his ancestors did, is very, very useful in trying to see that there is unity among the people. As part of his effort, to unite northern Nigeria, he introduced this, northernization policy. I think the issue of northernization is to try at least one to educate and also to unite with the entire northern Nigerian people. And unfortunately, contemporary northern leaders, instead of pursuing policies which will integrate the various groups into a single nation state, but they try to be selfish, and but Sardauna, he always referred to the entire people of northern Nigeria as my people, and whether you are Gwari, whether you are Christian, whether you are Muslim, I think he referred to them as my people, and so consequently there was an cordial interrelation. But since the demise of Sardauna, things have changed, things have been deteriorating, and we have been raising so many things done by Sardauna, but unfortunately, up to now, we do not, try in any way, to emulate him. So, therefore, my question is that how can these legacies, the legacy of unity, of education, the legacy of religious unity be used to bring, peace, stability for the northern part of Nigeria? Because definitely the northern part of Nigeria now has a lot of decadence. There is decadence in education, there is decadence, in everything. And I think I'm happy that Professor Tukur Baba, who is one of the, spokesperson, of Arewa Construction Forum, for Asia. So maybe he will tell us what some of these northern elders, are doing, to see that, at least, they do something that will bring peace, in northern Nigeria. So I said, oh, so there, but I know that more will come, so thank you very much.